Hello my fellow minor league nerds, and welcome to our newest Minor League Nerd Shorts episode, which will cover the Martinsville Athletics, who played in the Carolina League from 1945 to 1949. In a previous episode, we covered the Martinsville manufacturers of the Bi-State League. The two teams are not connected to each other, but you should still check out that episode if you haven't already. When the Carolina League was organized on October 29, 1944, Martinsville was not represented. But on March 20th, the Rocky Mount franchise was moved to the city, with the American League Philadelphia Athletics taking over running the team. They played at English Field, where the manufacturers of the Bi-State League played from 1934 to 1941. The Hooker Bassett Furniture Company built new bleachers for the ballpark, while other local interests covered the cost of lights, stadium water, and groundskeeping service for the ballpark. The Carolina League was organized as a Class C circuit, the only one in minor league ball that season. The other teams in the league that first season were the Burlington Bees, the Durham Bulls, the Greensboro Patriots, the Leakesville Draper Spray Triplets, the Winston-Salem Cardinals, as well as the Danville Schoolfield Leafs and the Raleigh Capitals, both of which were covered in separate franchise history episodes already, so be sure to check those out if you haven't already. In that first season, they were managed by Hall of Famer Heine Manouche, who had a 17-season Major League career, even making a few appearances for the Athletics that season. He led them to a third place, 69 and 67 finish, which was good enough for a playoff spot. They were knocked out in the first round by the Danville Schoolfield Leafs in 6 games. Danville, who dominated the Carolina League the entire season, went on to win the league championship, defeating the Raleigh Capitals in 5 games. A game between the Athletics and the Durham Bulls that season on July 17th saw the two teams play to an 18-inning 4-4 tie, with the game being called due to Durham's midnight curfew. In 1946, they were managed by Cliff Bulletin, who had a 7-year Major League career with Washington and Detroit. He played for the Athletics in 1945 before being promoted to player manager, where he hit .273 in 61 games. He led them to a 6th place, 67 and 75 finish, 18 games behind the pennant-winning Greensboro Patriots. The Raleigh Capitals went on to win the league championship, defeating the Durham Bulls in 6 games. For the 1947 season, catcher Joe Glenn was hired to act as player manager. He had an 8-season big league career, playing for the New York Yankees, St. Louis Browns, and the Boston Red Sox. And now here's some really cool history that you probably didn't know about. He is the only player in baseball history to catch both Babe Ruth and Ted Williams. He was behind the plate during the last game of the 1933 season, when Ruth pitched a complete game, giving up 5 earned runs on 12 hits with 3 walks, getting the win as the Yankees defeated the Boston Red Sox 6-5. He was then behind the plate during Game 1 of a doubleheader against the Detroit Tigers on August 24, 1940, when Ted Williams made the only pitching appearance of his career in the 8th and 9th inning during the Red Sox 12-1 loss. In those 2 innings, Williams gave up 1 run on 3 hits with 1 strikeout. Things did not go well under his leadership. On July 1st, he was relieved of his duties after leading them to a 27-42 record. He was replaced by Woody Wheaton, who played for the Major League Athletics in 1943 and 1944. Wheaton had been leading the Moline Athletics of the Class D Central Association, where Glenn would take over. Wheaton did not report to Martinsville until July 12th, with pitcher Ray Lindsay serving as a temporary manager, guiding them to a 4-8 record in that time. With Wheaton in charge, they went 22-38, ending the season in last place with a 53-88 record, 33.5 games behind the pennant-winning Burlington Bees. The Raleigh Capitals won their second consecutive title, once again defeating the Durham Bulls in 6. The 1948 season was the best baseball season in Martinsville since 1940. They were led by Eddie Morgan, who had a 19-year career only appearing in 39 games in the majors with the St. Louis Cardinals and Brooklyn Dodgers in 1936 and 1937. They opened the season with a 4-3 loss to the Reedsville Luckies, doing pretty well the rest of opening week, going 5-2. But after that, things fell apart. At the end of May, they were in 7th place, 12 games back of the first place Winston-Salem Cardinals with a 13-24 record. June was a much better month. On the 17th, they swept the Raleigh Capitals in a doubleheader to reach the 500 mark for the first time since the beginning of May. On July 25th, they were in 5th place with a 49-45 record, 9.5 games behind Winston-Salem. After that, they went on a tear, winning 19 of their next 25 games, landing into a 3-way tie for first with Winston-Salem and Raleigh on August 11th. The rest of the month was a battle between the 3 clubs for first as they traded it back and forth or all landed on top together for a day or so. Winston-Salem slipped first, eventually missing the playoffs, with it turning into a 2-team race between the Athletics and the Capitals. In the last week of the season, though, Martinsville was unable to keep up and finished in 2nd place with an 81-61 record, 3 games behind Raleigh. In the first round of the playoffs, they defeated the 4th place Danville Leafs in 5 to face the 3rd place Burlington Bees in the League Championship Series. Burlington took the first 2 games, with the Athletics going on to win 4 in a row on their way to the Carolina League title. Before the 1949 season, the Carolina League moved up to Class B, with it being a major disappointment for the Athletics as they finished in last place with a 52-92 record while being led by player-manager George Stoller, who had a 19-season career but only played in 21 games for the Philadelphia Athletics in 1943. On January 7th, it was announced that the Athletics were moving to Fayetteville, North Carolina, becoming the Fayetteville Athletics. Fayetteville had a team in the Class D Tobacco State League in 1949, but they moved to Rockingham, North Carolina after the season, opening the market to the Athletics. They would play in Fayetteville until 1956, changing their names to the Highlanders in 1953. They won the Carolina League Championship in 1954 and 1956. On November 19, 1956, the franchise was returned to the league, with the Wilson Tops also folding and the league shrunk down to 6 teams. In Martinsville, the team lost money every season, including their championship season. The cost of running the team increased every year, with it going up greatly when the league moved up to Class B, which was rather controversial. The 8 teams were split on the vote, with league president Carol Brown breaking the tie. Martinsville was against the move, as it would increase player salaries to $4,000 a month. In their last season, the team spent practically no money on promotion. But they were such a poor team, drawing just under 32,500 fans, more than 43,000 less than the Reedsville Luckies, that the Martinsville Bulletin speculated that any real promotion of the team probably wouldn't have helped anyway. After the Athletics left, many attempts were made to bring professional baseball back to Martinsville, Virginia. But the city would not get another team until 1988, when the Martinsville Phillies began playing in the Appalachian League. In 1999, they became the Martinsville Astros, winning the Appalachian League Championship that season. After the 2003 season, the team relocated to Greenville, Tennessee. In 2005, Martinsville received a team in the Collegiate Summer Coastal Plain League, who adopted the name the Mustangs. They are still playing to this day. Well, my fellow minor league nerds, that'll do it for this episode. Thank you as always for your support, and until next time, stay safe and be sure to never stop supporting minor league baseball and never stop learning about minor league baseball history.